Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the World Class Championship Wrestling Review series. We journey continue into 1983, specifically this episode on March 19th. So we've got one more week in March, then we're into April. We go and we see Wild Bill Irwin take on the interesting challenge of the Masked Texan. Irwin perhaps needs to get a little bit of his heat back, as he has been, undertreated in the last month or two in World Class after his time as Texas champion, with some basic ride time wrestling holds and the like. Texan, though, not taking any guff, hits Irwin pretty early. Doesn't really matter who the Texan is. I assume he's a fill-in enhancement guy. Gets enough offense, though, although Texan even blocks a vertical suplex after giving Irwin a couple of shots. And obviously, they keep the match competitive enough that the fans can get behind the Texan, who comes out of nowhere with a lariat. And actually, it looks like he's going to win for, I'd say, the first half of the match, maybe a little less, but certainly more than you would expect a debuting masked person who, I'm not that much further down the road, only a couple episodes down the road, but I can't imagine the Masked Texan, or the Texan, being a mainstay star. Sunset flip attempt by Irwin, and only gets the 2 count. Referee relatively new, but right on top of the action. Always good to see that there's only a few officials. 1, 2, and a 3 count for the Texan. Texan gets a roll-up off a roll-up / schoolboy on Irwin, and Irwin maybe on his way out of the territory, don't really know. We then see Iceman King Parsons against Buddy Roberts. Roberts is going to take on Parsons with Michael Hayes in the corner. Obviously, Parsons, a relatively new guy. Every once in a while, they will re-endorse his friendship with the Von Erichs. And Hayes and Parsons go at it verbally a little bit, but Hayes is sent out, and we see a very, very quick match, as quick roll-up, probably 30 seconds by Parsons to get the victory over Buddy Roberts. Barely gets the jacket off. You know, it is what it is. David Von Erichs talks about his love of horses and his match with Jimmy Garvin. Garvin wins his match eventually, but we're talking to David in the stables, which is an interesting place to talk to a champion, but he's happy to be home. He's happy to be back around and all of that. He is not willing to take a backward step anywhere, and he believes he can run Jimmy Garvin out of town, which, based on the way Garvin has behaved the first several weeks of television, one would be happy with him being run out of town, I'm pretty sure. Mike Bond against King Kong Bundy. Not sure that Skandor Akbar is getting him the best matches if the best he can do is Bond. Obviously, Bundy representing H&H Incorporated for a while in 1982, but here switching to Skandor Akbar's Army in 1983. Bundy is the type of guy that I couldn't imagine as a heel without a manager. Yet another case where Bundy is kind of given too much to do, hammerlocks and the body slams are pretty natural, but just too much offense from the enhancement talent, and Bundy does hit a modified kick splash, and that does not get things done enough. Big body slam by Bundy as well. Bundy thinks that every offensive maneuver should garner him a victory. The referee has to inform him that, in fact, things do not work that way. Bundy is fond of pulling his opponent up by the hair and ears and other ways of doing things. Bundy also willing to cheat from time to time. Any day that ends in Y is a good day for Bundy to cheat, I'm afraid. Bundy, though, clamping down with a rear chin lock just doesn't make sense. And we move towards Bundy wanting a match with Toramata, and to see Bond find his way back up to his feet just doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. Bundy does get the victory. Victory comes off of a use of his size and the combination of, I believe, a big splash in the corner. Yeah, there we go. Bundy with the big splash in the corner gets the victory after a stun gun style maneuver and then a splash off the ropes. So not the avalanche in the corner, but the splash off the ropes gets Bundy your victory. David Von Erich and Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin is up next. Von Erich, as is to be expected, having a good deal of trouble getting through the crowd. Von Erich comes in as your Texas champion. He, unfortunately for him, does not hold on to the championship. Garvin, to this point, until getting a championship match, refuses to be televised, and then all of a sudden manages to find a way to agree to be televised at this point. They go about 10-12 minutes here. Sunshine is on the outside. This is before Precious, before Jimmy brings his actual wife on the road. Jimmy does break the momentum going outside of the ring several times to aid the distraction. David is not intimidated by Garvin. Not that a lot of people think he would be, but doesn't back down. Slow down the match as there's a cutoff, and then Garvin gets a chin lock that he works for the next several minutes, turned into a sleeper and then a chokehold when he can. Behind the back of the official, I think guys don't do nearly enough of that. Wait for the official's back to be turned before doing their crazy stuff. Kevin has had enough by this point. Starts stomping on his adversary, starts going straight at him. They start to brawl in the corner when both guys are vertical. We then, in fact, do see Garvin manage to win the Texas Championship from his opponent. He does this with the use of managing to throw Von Erich outside of the ring area, breaks up the count there. He gets pushed back. Von Erich makes his way back in, kind of, although is more pulled back into the ring. It is here that Garvin manages to hit a brainbuster on David Von Erich and manages to get the victory and become your new Texas champion. I believe it is Sunshine and Garvin who both say this is his 5th state championship, so that's a big deal. A Garvin is now a champion in Texas, and I don't think he could be happier. We will close out the month of March with our next episode, the 26th of March, 1983. But until then, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.